Hello, welcome back to another in my series of ranking the Beatles songs. Today I'm going to start with number 79, and I'm going to take it to the White Album with the quick little song, Why Don't We Do It in the Road, which is a purely Paul McCartney track. He's doing all the instruments, the percussion in the song. It was about one of those songs that, he wrote while he was in India. He saw two monkeys having a little bit too much fun in the road, and, you know, wrote this little jam, and it's just kind of like a vocal exercise of like how rocky he could get his voice. Why don't we do it in the road? Dun, dun. It's a fun song. I've always really liked it a lot, and it's 79. Number 78 from Sergeant Pepper, one of the John Lennon masterpieces, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which of course has evoked a lot of controversy over the years. Is it about LSD? Is it not? It's definitely one of those songs that is drug inducive, but he says, and I believe that the song is about a drawing that his son Julian drew while he was in grade school. The drawing is on, the image you can see all over the internet. So check it out. But it's a great song. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green towering over your head. It just got this weird atmospheric kind of sound to it, and it's just one of the pillars of the Sergeant Pepper album, and it is number 78 in my ranking. Number 77 from Yellow Submarine. It's the track It's All Too Much, one of my all-time favorites um, from that era of the Beatles. I remember the first time I heard it because I'd never heard it before. I didn't have this Yellow Submarine album, and when I borrowed that album from a friend, I heard It's All Too Much, and that, kind of affected guitar. My mind was blown because it didn't sound like the 60s to me. It still doesn't sound like the 60s to me. It sounds so modern, and in the best of ways. And I don't know, just something about it does not sound dated. I love the bum 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 bum, and then dun, 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 it just breaks into it. I love that song so much. The whole line, all the world is birthday cake, so take a piece, but not too much. It's just a great song. And then at the end, they're all going too much, too much. It's just great. And then they kind of have like this stupid, kind of fun ending at the end. Too much, too much. It's just the Beatles being goofy. I think it's very fun. I love the track. It's a very long song. It's over 6 minutes long, and a very underappreciated Beatles song. It's one of my top in the underappreciated Beatles canon. Number 75, I didn't realize all these songs would be coming from the same kind of era at this section. Number 75 from Sergeant Pepper, Fixing a Hole. One of the great little intros. I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in. I love how Paul sounds on that. It's killer. And the vocals at the end, I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in. I've always loved Paul's voice in that. And it's just one of those songs, you know, that puts you in that mood. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door, kept my mind from wandering. I love the track. I love how Paul sounds in it, and it's number 75. Number 74. This is very controversial because a lot of people would put this at the very bottom, including my friend Steve at All the World's a Stage. This is the song "Good Night," the very last track off the White Album. It's the second of the two Ringo tracks, and it was a song that John wrote for his son Julian. And again, it was just one of those beautiful songs that it makes up for what you had just heard with Revolution Number 9, which is the song prior, and then Cry Baby Cry before that. So you were getting really dark into the White Album, and they have this weird kind of schmaltzy, like orchestral, like just full on string section. The no do 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 do, and then you have like the little weird spoken word at the end where you can hear the spit in Ringo's mouth, where he's like, good night, everybody, everywhere, good night." I don't know. I've always loved the song, and there's that great version off the off the 2018 50th anniversary box set that Giles Martin did. It's beautiful. I love the song. Even Ringo said it was too schmaltzy, and Ringo is pretty schmaltzy, but It's not one I don't think that he's ever done live, and so that's a great that's a I would love for Ringo to pull this out in a set list. I think it would be awesome. Number 73, a lot of people's favorite George Harrison song, a lot of people's favorite Beatles song. Uh, According to Spotify, it's the most streamed Beatles song, and that is "Here Comes the Sun," which is the opener of side B on Abbey Road. It's the George Harrison, masterpiece, not ballad. Um, it's got that beautiful, acoustic intro. The walk down bass on the guitar, the doom 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 doom. Again, I love the song. I love it. Um, it's one that's played a little too much for my liking, and probably part of the reason it's not in the top 10. Um, as a song itself, it's probably I'm sure it's much better than a lot of these other songs that I have ahead of it. And I know a lot of people will agree with that statement and probably unsubscribe from my channel. Please don't. But I love the song. I love how it sounds. I love how it's again a yin and yang from the "I Want You, She's So Heavy," which closed side A. So "Here Comes the Sun." We all know it. I won't go into it anymore. 72, also from the Abbey Road album. "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window," which is the end of the first mini medley on side B. It was about a crazed fan that Paul McCartney wrote about, and again, it goes from Polythene Pam into this. I love how it starts. He goes, "Oh, look out! She came in through the bathroom window." Then that beautiful guitar, protected by her silver spoon. There's a great version by Joe Cocker out there as well. If you don't know it, again, it's a great closer to that little section of the medley. Um, the whole, didn't anybody tell her? Didn't anybody see? It's just a great song. I love how it ends. He goes, "Tuesdays on the phone with me. Oh yeah," and it's a closer before they go into the final finale of the Abbey Road album. So "She Came Into the Bathroom Window" is number 72. Number 71 from Beatles for Sale, "Babies in Black," which I know when they played it live, John Lennon would always say, this is a waltz. So waltz. It's again, "Babies in Black," beautiful song. I love the harmonies, very Everly Brothers, with John singing the lead, Paul singing the high harmony with the "Oh dear, what can I do? Baby's in black and I'm feeling blue. Tell me, oh, what can..." And then that great bow, bow, now, 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 bow. Just great playing by George on that track. This is one of the songs that's grown on me over the years. It used to not be this high, but it's really gone up. And then I love, the "Oh, how long will it take till she sees her mistakes she has made? Dear, what can I..." It's just such a well crafted song. I love the song so much. So 71, "Babies in Black." Number 70, John Lennon ballad, "Dear Prudence," track number 2 off of the White Album. Fades right in from back in the USSR. It's about Prudence Farrow from Mia Farrow's sister, who was on the trip to India with the Beatles, Donovan, the Beach Boys, and it was about John, saying that she was depressed. She was kind of holed up in her room, and it was kind of John's little song to say, "Come out and have fun with us, get some sunlight." Just a beautiful track, and it's one of those tracks that Donovan, the folk singer, taught some of the finger picking techniques to John and Paul and George while they were over in India. So it's really showing. It's great. I'm picking from John Lennon on the song. It's an early finger picking song that I tried and failed miserably at. Um, Again, it's just got that great build up to the song too, because it starts so quiet, and then it's got that huge, "The sun is up, and the sky is blue. It's beautiful. So are you." It's just such a beautiful song. I love the build up. That's what makes the song to me. John Lennon's emotion in the song is fantastic. Love it. Number 70. Number 69 from the Let It Be album, "For You Blue." George Harrison. I love the it's a 12-bar blues song, which of course he makes note of in the lyrics where he says, "I've got the 12-bar blues," and then he says, what does he say? I can't remember. Anyway, it's just one of those great songs, and it's got the slide guitar playing by John Lennon, playing kind of a sloppy slide guitar, which works really well for the song, makes it more muddy. And George is singing that kind of like that higher voice that he would actually kind of take on later on in his career. So it's kind of a taste of what George would sound like in a few years. So For You Blue, number 69. Number 68 from Revolver, a beautiful ballad by McCartney, Here, There, and Everywhere. It starts like one of those songs from the 40s or the 30s that kind of has an intro that stands alone from the rest of the song where he says, to lead a better life, I need my love to be here, here, making each day of the year. And then it's got like the background vocals that are kind of like, ooh, it's just a little creepy on the background vocals, but in the best way. Um, I love the end, I will be there and everywhere, here, there, and everywhere. Beautiful. Love this song. 67, Keeping Up to Abbey Road, Octopus's Garden, Ringo Starr. Yes, I've Got It This High. I love the song. It's one of those songs that Ringo actually co-wrote solely, even though you see in the Get Back documentary that George is giving him quite a few pointers on chords and a couple of lines. Again, one of those songs that Ringo was writing for, I think, a couple of years before the song was actually recorded. And again, just a fun song. It's got that great guitar by George. The love the song. Ringo sings it so well. I love the whole "We will be so happy, you and me, no one there to tell us what to do." I love George Harrison's backing harmonies on this as well. And I love, like, again, the guitar at the end, the do do bow 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 and Octopus's Garden with bow 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 bow. Love that. So Ringo, you've made it. 67. Number 66 from Magical Mystery Tour, All You Need Is Love, the Beatles anthem, the anthem of the 60s, of the Summer of Love. It was the pinnacle of the Summer of Love, with the One World benefit special that came on TV. The Beatles were asked to write a song. I think John Lennon said this song was written in 20 minutes or so, because he kind of lost track of time and said, "Oh, I've got to write a song," and he wrote it, submitted it, and we get this beautiful ballad that is simple in content, but again, it's got the great lush 1967 Beatles style on it with all the horns that start, the bum ba bum 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 ba ba dum ba dum ba dum ba da da da, love love love, and then it's got the end with Paul McCartney going, "She loves you, yeah yeah yeah, she loves you," which is just crazy to think, that song was what, 4 years removed from this track. Is that right? She Loves You was 63. And you know how I do this. She Loves You was 64. So 3 years removed from the All You Need Is Love track, and how far the Beatles had come. It's incredible. And I'm going to stop here with this last one, number 65 from Hard Day's Night. If I Fell, one of the best ballads the Beatles ever wrote. Again, it starts right into it with "If I Fell in Love with You." I love John's voice on it. "Would you promise to be true and help me understand?" I love how that song starts on Hard Day's Night. It's just like they're just like hanging out on the stage with Ringo, and he's down in the dumps, and John just starts strumming along. They're like, "Oh, it's better now. We're singing," and Ringo starts playing the drums. I love the Paul harmony. "If I give my heart to you," love the whole thing. Great ballad, and one of the Beatles' best from their early years. So that is it, number 79 through 65 today. I'm going to put a halt on that. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about me putting All You Need Is Love and Here Comes the Sun in this grouping. Y'all be good. Take care. Thanks to all my new subscribers. I've gotten a bunch over the last few days. I appreciate y'all. Comment, subscribe, tell your friends about this channel, and I'd appreciate it. So y'all be good. Take care, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Bye now.